Welcome everyone. We are live once again with Behind the Screens and Undeadlu tonight and David, KnownOrigin. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Hello.
Good, good. So as usual, we'll pass on the word to David to give us a quick introduction about KnownOrigin and the Behind the Screens series. David, after you.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining again. So I'm David Moore, one of the co-founders from KnownOrigin. We are a digital arts platform that is built on the Ethereum blockchain, and we allow artists to showcase and sell their digital artworks. I just want to say, why do we do behind the screens? Because essentially it's really important that we get to see the artists that are creating the artwork. We get to understand where they're coming from, and we get to talk to them and just see past just seeing the image on the screen. And I kind of love to get to know kind of what their inspirations are, why they produce the artwork. And tonight we've got an Italian-based artist, Undeadlu, or AKA Lou, and she creates incredible work. I have one in my private collection, which I'm really proud of. So without further ado, I will pass back over to Serena. I will shoot back into the live and be tweeting things. So if you've got any questions, hit me up on KnownOrigin_.io. And I think it'll be another great night. So you two enjoy yourself, and I will be on live. So if you need me, just shout and I'll jump back in. But all good.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, David. It's a pleasure to see you as always, and we'll catch up soon. Thank you.
Have a great night.
Okay, so here we are. Good afternoon, good evening, and maybe good morning to everyone watching. And thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm so excited to be on this live conversation with Lou. Hi, Lou. How are you?
Hello. I'm fine, thanks. You?
Good. Yes. Very good. Thank you. So I'm very excited, as I was saying, because you are one of the artists I've been looking at for quite a long time. I'm sure I'm not the only one because you have a great following, and I think your art has been going around not just only in the crypto art space, but it's been going around quite a few times recently, and we've seen all your amazing collabs. So during this live chat, I will invite everyone watching to please send your questions if you have any. We'll be happy to chat about it live. So I would love to start by asking you some questions around your style and how you got to create in digital using technology and creating digital portraits. What characterized the art of Undeadlu? It's something quite unique that you bring onto the digital canvas, which are these portraits, these bodies of kind of like human cyborgs. So I would love to ask you, what do you take your inspiration from, and how did you get to start creating in the digital format?
Well, I started using Illustrator like 1 or 2 years ago, but only to make some easy sketch of tattoos or something like fan art of video game character. Then I heard about crypto art because my boyfriend read a post on Facebook, something like it, that we're talking about crypto. Then I tried to start creating something I like it that would have expressed some emotion or some feeling. And then I find a way in the cyberpunk world with cyborg, because I think I like the struggle of the human being and his constant research of perfection and well-being. I don't know if it's right. I don't know. I mean,
No, it's super fascinating. What do you mean by when you say the struggle of human beings?
because I think cyborg that are human with robotic and mechanical parts can they are not 100% human, so they don't know. Okay. One second. I need to translate that word.
No, yeah, that's totally fine. I think it's so interesting to understand, the reasons that move your intentions behind the work that we see. Because I find that when I look at those bodies that you create, and maybe we can start sharing some of the work you do so that people watching also have some visual about what we're talking here tonight. But I have to say, Lou's work, it's so fascinating because it touches on a very emotional sense of connecting with something that is somehow, transcend the body, and enters a different kind of universe, And so it is interesting to see that. Is there any artist that inspires you or that you've been looking at?
For my work, not really, but in crypto art worlds, I really like Akatao and A Lot of Money. They are both great. They're my favorite crypto artists.
And you've also done a collaboration with Akatao recently.
Yeah, some months ago.
And how does it work for you to collaborate with other artists?
I was really happy when they asked me if I wanted to make a collaboration. At the beginning, I didn't feel enough because, Akatao are like the best crypto art. They are so famous. They are really good. But I think we chose a really nice theme for them, for our artworks. And I think it was really good. And I really liked it, collaborated with them. They have been really kind and always available for new ideas and advices, something like it. So,
yeah, and I think they're also watching us live tonight. So
I don't know.
I think they're here. So we say hello to them. And I know you also done a number of collaborations with other artists. So what takes your interest in the sense of collaborating with others? Do you see that as a way of communicating, or
Yes.
how do you?
I think it's a really great way to communicate with new artists, to know their point of view, how they work, and the message they would like to share with the other people. And I don't know. I think
It's definitely interesting, and I think especially now during we're entering a new lockdown now, so it's going to be a challenging time. Having this support from other artists and finding ways in which we can communicate, it's very important. And all your collaborations has been really successful, so it's a pleasure to see how artists, without meeting one another, can actually work harmoniously online and produce astonishing work. It's very interesting. I also know, though, that your background is in tattoo art. So you started as a tattoo artist. And
yes.
Can you tell us how you landed into the crypto art scene from being a tattoo artist?
Honestly, when I started to do tattoos, I really thought it would have been my work for the rest of my life. But something happened, and I chose to stop this. And I heard about crypto art because my boyfriend read a post on Facebook, and he sent me the link to the platform. But I had to make the video to prove my identity. But I was really ashamed and I lost the link. So after I posted my artworks on another platform that didn't require the video, and some time later, a person I didn't know, but now I know, told me that I should have taken a look to that platform, and I'm in crypto for this.
And so you did.
I think. Yes.
And then you happen to be among this wonderful community of people and very creative artists. Yes, it's wonderful to hear all these stories about how everyone discovered the space. I think everyone had very unique ways of entering the space, and it's so fascinating of hearing and collecting all those stories. I think it's a great time now if we start looking at some of the work you have produced, because you have different works on different platforms, but we're going to have a look at the ones we see on the KnownOrigin platform tonight, and maybe some new upcoming projects as well. So whenever you are ready, we're going to be looking at some of the work. And also a quick reminder to everyone, if you do have any questions as we go through these live talks, please just share them in the live chat. Okay, so wonderful. We see some of the works here on KnownOrigin platform that Lou has created. I think here we can see some of the motives we discussed earlier about picturing portraits of humanoid androids, or how would you like to describe them?
I think cyborg, because they should be human with mechanical and robot parts on them, so they are like half and half. While I read the other, and they should be all robots or something.
And those well, this one is so relevant to nowadays, wearing a mask, and this is one of your latest creation. When you portray these figures of cyborgs, where do you see them? Do you see them like living on Earth, or do you see them taking their life onto a different planet, or what's
no,
I think
they live. I think I imagine that they live on our planet, but in a future world. I don't know if it's right.
Yeah, no, I understand. And I'm curious to know more about the way, that thoughts, because they always have, most of these portraits you create, they have a sort of like loneliness. Would you say it's loneliness, or maybe they are lost in that thoughts, or they're
like alienated? They don't know. I don't know. They feel wait.
Is there any sort of like emotion or feeling that
they like
experience?
They feel like different, but they are not. They think that they are not different, but instead they are, because of mechanical part, and they have like they feel alienated and overwhelmed. And I mean, they're not happy to live in that world they are living, but they are happy to live. I don't know how to explain it better.
Yeah, no, I think you described that really well. I think having that sense of being overwhelmed, I think express that well, because of the nature of the body, being half mechanical and half human. Yes, it must be weird. And have you ever thought about living in the future and sort of inhabit the body of a cyborg, being one of them?
Oh, well, it would be nice, so I could live more. I don't know.
Yes, kind of like being in a Blade Runner era. Who knows? Do you think that kind of fiction has inspired your work at all?
For the settings, for the I think I have watched the Altered Carbon, and I liked it, but I saw another film, but I don't remember the name of that, and it was like futuristic settings and full of robots or something like it.
That's interesting. Yes, and do you think that kind of fiction and films influence the work you create, or where do you tend to find inspiration for your work?
I used to think about the feelings that the cyborg would prove in that moment. I don't think that fiction are something that inspire me. Or I mean, when I create an artwork, I think about what that cyborg or would feel in that moment, and I try to represent it on illustration.
Understood. Yes, that's fascinating that you base the representation on the feelings. There's a question coming from Akatao, which it's really fun. I would love to ask you this question. So, why your cyber girls are dark and you're blonde? So,
Oh
most
no,
of the
they're white, but the light is orange, so they look blonde.
oh, so your hair dyed like uh white and not blonde. Okay, cool. Yes, because
Yes.
we can see them
Anyway,
on the.
I think that dark hair looks fit better on the rest of the color I chose because I don't know the hair and the t-shirt in this case fit better with the background too. And I don't have dark hair because I would look even worse, and I don't know.
No, it's amazing. I love this concept that you draw on these women. And do you tend to often draw women in the work, or have you ever chosen a different subject for the portraits that you've created?
May you repeat, please?
Yeah, of course. Do you normally portrait women in your work, or do you also draw different type of characters? For
I used
example,
no, no.
children, men, or
I used to draw women because I think that they fit better with the style I did because they have softer like lineaments. I don't know how to explain. Anyway, in the collaboration with Skygulp, we tried to make we made a man.
Oh yes, that's true. I remember that, and there's quite a nice story about that work that you've created. I don't know if we can show it.
I don't know if I have it because
we're gonna see if we can find it. I also know that he's watching tonight. He's here with us, so it'll be lovely also
it
to
should
get
be
some questions
the finished one. I don't
about
know
these.
because we made a lot of try before the last, and I don't know if it's the right one. But it doesn't loop.
Yeah, we can see the work. We can see the work. And how did this collaboration felt for you? How did you start connecting with Sky Gold and work on this piece together?
It was really funny to make this collaboration because I had to change the subject and even the color I used to use, and it was really nice because his idea were really great, and I think they fit really good with all the rest of the artwork. I mean, the grunge texture on the background and on the chair, they have been his idea, and I think they are great.
And we see this man sort of like being in his apartment probably in a city, in a skyscraper, and we see a background city showing from the window. And can I ask you, where did you imagine this place was or could be in the future?
Where?
Yes.
I think in our city, because I think in the future every city will looks like the same with all of these things and lights and technology. I don't know.
Probably. Who knows? Who knows? That's interesting. And there's also, a curious dual portrait looking at the viewer. So in this work, it's interesting to see how the work hanged on the wall and the man staring at the viewer are both sort of like suspended in this eternal moment. I don't know. It's interesting to see that, and also feels awkward in a way from a viewer's standpoint, because it kind of like, look through the soul and the eye of you feel that presence. How does it feel for you when you make the work and when you see the work now that is completed and is out there?
It's satisfying.
That's a nice feeling.
It's nice to see that when every works is finished, mainly collaboration with people that have so many different styles. Like his style is so different from mine, but we find a way to fit them together nicely.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there's harmony in this work, and you can see that it's a lovely collaboration. Thank you for showing us that. We have a question coming from Massimo, who is watching live tonight, and he's asking a question about tattooing. So he says, about tattooing, you said that what I saw, it was a world where money comes before human relationships and where someone legitimized stealing the work of others. Do you see any difference in crypto?
Yes,
So,
I think in my experience, even with collaboration or even talking with other crypto artists, I didn't find that. I think that humans are okay. One moment. I need to,
take your time. And if you want to say any word in Italian that I could help you translate, that is also fine.
I rapporti umani vengono prima delle persone, ma non mi viene più in mente come l'ho detto.
Yeah, so Louis is saying that human relationships come first.
Yes. I mean,
usually.
every people I found in cryptoart has been really, really kind with me, even if they didn't know me or never seen or heard about me. While in real life and tattoos, mainly in my experience, they have been totally not kind. Even and in crypto, when there have been something like stealing the artworks, you can prove that that artwork was your. While in tattoos, you always say, come on, this is a little bit different, there's a line more, and they feel legitimated to do that just because they earn some money from this.
So you're saying that in a way, the crypto art space feels more appropriate for you because in your experience in tattoo art,
Yes.
And among tattoo artists, it's easier to steal the work of others because you could have, it's difficult then to prove it once it's on the skin of somebody.
And you can't delete it. I mean, you can't cut a part of a human body because that job was your.
You can't burn that token. It's on the skin of somebody. Yes, I think it's good to put these two worlds and realities together and see how actually people behave in a virtual space and in a more real space, in a studio, in a tattoo studio. And it was curious, the story that you shared about your boyfriend looking at a tweet and then you exploring the crypto art space.
Yes.
Yeah. And do you have any upcoming project or anything that you're currently working on that you'd like to
Yes,
share with us?
I have at least I 5 or 6, something like it. And okay, so this one I will drop it in a few days, maybe, or tomorrow. I don't know.
That's really nice. And can you tell us a bit about this work? How
Yes,
did
I
it
would like.
came about?
I one second. That I would like to express the caducity of every moment or everything. Like the butterfly stay on the cyborg for just a few moments, like and she goes away. It goes away, like more or less everything in this life.
Mm.
And
Yeah, it's beautiful and sad at the same time. It's very touching. And there's a really great balance between the use of grays that you've applied on that canvas and the orange butterfly. But this one has a
this one,
complete different
yes,
feeling.
different style. It was something like more happy with Da Vinci. I wanted to fit the cyborgs, the cyberpunk world with vintage. That's something like that people like so much. So it's not really. There's nothing else to say. Just something I like it to do. There they are.
This one is great.
This is more animated from the other one.
Yes, and this one sees a body of a cyborg being in a lab, or what is the story that you see on this
I
work?
see that she should be a cyborg that is reloading after really bad experience. Like she's reset and reload because she can do it. I mean, she's not. She has a hard disk, something like it.
So it's like recharging or clearing up what happened and freshening up the body and the parts that form the body. And do you see this body, as a subject of study, or do you see them being independent? Actually, yes, that was something I wanted to always ask you while looking at the work. Do you see these cyborgs being independent in a way? Having their own life and being completely independent from any human sort of overlooking them, or do you feel that they would be always somehow controlled by somebody else, somebody more human-like?
Most of the time they feel like controlled, but sometimes I would like to make them totally independent. Just I don't know, something.
And in the future that you envision, do you think that will be a supremacy of still the humankind, or do you think that a different entity will take over control?
I don't know.
I don't know if anybody watching want to share their thoughts on this, but I'm a huge fan of sci-fi and anything that goes beyond imagination about the future. And I'm very inspired by Lou's art tonight. So please share your thoughts. What do you think is going to control the world? Do you think cyborgs will control the world, or humans will still be able to? Or maybe something else? That'd be interesting. And you also have other works coming up. So the works that we're currently seeing, these are all previews of work. So these are currently not available yet. So
No.
keep your eyes open as they will become available very soon. Okay. Do you want to show us any other work or?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. There is.
No, it's totally fine. I just. Oh wow, this is again very different from every other work we've seen. We see this woman enjoying music, and
Yes,
are you
but
planning on any actual music to this work?
no, because I would like to express the sound of silence, like she's thinking, and that's the sound of her thought, and so I didn't add any music here.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's really beautiful.
there's the last one. That's this, but it's really big, so I don't know if.
Nice. What I love about your work, Lou, is that every single one is so different in a way. I know your subject is normally a woman, a cyborg woman, being portrayed, with the exception of the man that you drawn on the collaboration with Sky Golpe. But I see the mood and the feelings that you express in every single work being so different. In a way, what you communicate is yes, a balance of different emotions every time. And I would love to know what you actually feel when you make the work. For example, this one, which seems, probably made by another artist.
I wanted to represent like the nature in another way, something like she has wings, so she should be free, but she has like roots that constrict her. So I've tried to fit everything in this artwork for make the nature a little bit different from the other representations.
Fascinating, yes. And I also want to thank Minimal for saying that he thinks we will evolve into plants and cyborg will have their own evolutions, which is curious. And yes, who knows? But I think everyone's vision on the future is a possibility. So it's interesting to see what we think today and what could happen and might happen in the future and what is currently happening in these crazy times. And do you have any collaboration coming up, or is there any artist that you'd like to collaborate with?
Well, there are a lot of artists I would like to collaborate with. I don't know which one I would prefer at first. I mean, there are a really lot of nice crypto artists, mainly now that this word is more known all over the world. Like when I started on February, there were so a few artists, while now there are a lot of artists. So it would be difficult to choose one to collaborate with.
Mm-hmm. And do you have any ideas in terms of what you'd like to do in a collaboration? Anything you haven't done yet that you would like to try?
Not really. I don't know now.
Yes, I think it's when there's an encounter, with another artist, there's always a time where things can evolve and happen and take a natural flow. So I'm sure you will discover ways in which you will find collaborations interesting for you and for whoever will collaborate with you. And have you ever taken your art out into an exhibition, for example, into either a physical exhibition or a digital exhibition? And how was that experience for you?
On real, no. but we had show this winter, I think, with every other Italian crypto artist on CryptoVoxel, and it
True,
was
yes. I remember. Cryptally, was
yes.
it?
I forgot the name. I mean I thought it was Cryptitaly, but it sounds really really bad, so it wasn't right. Anyway, that has been really funny to do.
Yes, yes. I remember coming through the show and seeing your work. Yes. I think it was actually on the entrance of the exhibit.
Yeah, no, I don't remember if it was the entrance, but there were 3 works, and one was the Cyber Prayer that received a really great feedback from who saw it. So I was happy that people liked that artwork.
Now that you touched on that, I am actually curious to know if you receive feedback from people that like your work and enjoy your work, and if you'd like to share any stories or comments about that.
Well, some Italian guys told me that they really liked my work, like Combuniera, Palaleo, and Luca, but he's not a crypto artist, he's a collectionist. And it was really great because every time someone tell me that he or she likes my artwork, I feel like good, because I mean that I'm not working for just for myself. I like when people like the work I do.
Yes, yes. I just shared a question out to the audience asking, how does your work make people feel? Because I think it's important having that shared experience. It's like a communion where you sense a work that we see through the eyes, but we experience through the soul and the sensations that brings to you. And I think digital art, it's interesting because we of course see through a screen most of the times, but it's also interesting to know how deep it can go in terms of touching different senses, even though most of the times we simply just experience this through our sight. So I'm curious to know if anybody is willing to answer that question. And yes, so we talked about some future projects, but let's talk a bit about the past. What was your very first creation in digital?
Digital in crypto or in
general, in digital art?
It was an illustration of a character of Apex Legends. That's a video game.
Oh, nice. So you started in gaming?
Yes, I play so much. Unlucky.
What's your favorite game?
World of Warcraft right now. Or
Yes.
Overwatch.
Those are masterpieces.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So you were fascinated also about this world because you like video games, or
not really. I mean, I was doing graphics things even before starting playing, really playing on video game, but never something like illustration or things like that.
And in terms of like more traditional art and artists, is there any particular art theme or artist that you like and you look at?
Not. I don't follow. I don't really follow the traditional art right now.
I see.
Sorry.
And is there any? No. Totally fine. I'm just curious, and I ask questions. And I'm curious also to know, if there's anything in like fashion or music that you tend to like or you tend to find interesting for your work.
I like listening to music while I draw. Um, Mostly of the time, if the artwork should be sad, I listen to sad music, but not every time, just because to feel the mood of the cyborg in that moment.
Absolutely. And Akata is asking one more question. Will you play Cyberpunk 2077?
Yeah, I think so. If my computer will not explode when I will download it, but I may change it just for playing.
Why not? Why not? Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about your dreams. What would you like to do in 10 years' time as an artist or as yourself?
I would like to continue to in the world of crypto and digital art because I really like it, and I don't know, maybe I would like to have one more dog and 2 cats. Nothing else.
Yes, that's a very nice objective to have. Having pets and lovely animals.
And a new home. A new house, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. These are all noble objectives and goals. I hope and wish for you to get everything you want. Even before then, why not? And often I ask this question because I think it's great to share these as a comment to everyone. If you wanted to share, your thoughts and comments to anybody coming into the crypto art space today, what would it be? What would you like to share with them?
I would suggest them to enter in this world because it's really full of great opportunities and really nice people. And even I don't know if some artist is not selling every of his artwork, or he or she thinks that the prices of his works are not high. I would like to tell them that it may not be their time. I mean, crypto art is a relatively new word, so it's becoming big every day. So they should continue in their dream. I don't know.
Thank you for sharing that. I would ask you in a moment to think about 3 highlights that you also like to communicate to everyone about this space and what excites you about this space. But before we do that, I just wanted to read out loud Ray's Thirst Trader comment saying, looking at your artworks, it seems to be inside a Black Mirror episode. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are fans of Black Mirrors, but I am, and it's one of the greatest TV series. And yes, I can totally relate Lou's art to that sense of living in a future where things are a little off sometimes, but still very fascinating future to live in. What do you think, Lou? Does it feel like a Black Mirror?
Yes, I think we are holding a little black mirror, and it's nice that someone thought it about my artworks.
Yes, yes, yes. So you're not the only one, Ray. And yes, Lou, to conclude, can you share with us 3 highlights about the crypto art scene that you enjoy?
I may. I like.
3, yeah, highlights. Yes,
You mean 3 moments I found good in
3
crypto?
things that you like the most
Oh,
about the
okay.
space.
The first thing that's it's. I mean, you can express everything you want to express with crypto without being like judged. I mean, a lot of crypto artists may stay anonymous, so they can express itself without being judged. And I think cryptoart is great because it bypasses the payment method. Because if I'm not wrong, there are some nations that doesn't accept some kind of payment method, and using crypto, you don't need to have that. And I don't know, the third one is the community, because it's really great, the community on cryptoart.
Yes, I think these are three great highlights. Thank you so much, Lou, for sharing that. And I also wanted to thank KnownOrigin and MoCDA for supporting this Behind the Screen series, and all of you watching tonight. There's been so many of you. Thank you for sharing all your comments, thoughts, questions with us. We'll be here again next Tuesday. And I also want to give a big shout out to Lou for coming on screen with us tonight and talking about herself, the work, and all the greatest updates and work that you're currently working on. We're gonna love all the upcoming drops you're gonna be making. So, Lou, it's been a pleasure talking to you tonight and getting to know you. Thank you, everyone, but most of all, thank you, Lou, for being with us tonight.
Thank you for invite.
Thank you. So good night, everybody, and we'll catch up soon again next week. Take care. Bye, Lou.
Bye. Bye-bye.